Kotler. Where are you coming to us from today?
Creekside Sound in Brooklyn, New York.
Do you remember the first time playing in this band?
I remember being really confused about why you were asking me. If for no other reason that I might have been the worst sight reader in the school. I feel like I knew everybody in the room except for Mike McAllister.
And of course the irony of...
I see Mike nearly every day. Here, talk to Kyle. I'm recording.
Whatever you do, don't edit this part out.
How do you approach playing in this band?
I feel like a lot of it has become sort of knowing my place, where there's freedom and where there isn't. That's different depending on the music that we're playing. It can be different depending on where we are within any individual song. It taught me a lot about being a role player, doing your part to make what the thing is right.
Your ability to make it work. You're such a sensitive musician from that point of view. If I give you specific directions, then I'm going to get a specific result. But if I just let you be the improvising musician that you are, I'm going to get something that is uniquely and authentically you. Do you have a favorite track or even a favorite moment on the record?
There's always a moment later in the first movement and the final movement of the symphony. There's a place where the harmony opens up and I get to really sort of dig in and comp. Those are always my favorite moments where suddenly it spreads and I feel like I have more control over the harmony of it. There's a moment where Sam and I do some duo stuff, which is like
so good.
The same idea. Anywhere where I can be working directly with someone else and sort of like have the ability to either chase them around harmonically, support what they're doing harmonically, or work against them, and being within the moment to do all of that.
You are so uniquely you in the moments when it's you and somebody else. Personal reflections on this album as a protest record.
To me, this record is so much about the violin concerto and the symphony. I still think of that symphony as the experiment of writing it in 3 stages during the election process. Like, more so than the performance on the record, that's where it lives for me. More than anything, to me, it was a reflection on the world as it was at that moment. It's like a snapshot to me of what we were all feeling then. It's like there may have been protests, but it's like we had no idea what we were really protesting against. And the violin concerto to me, that's just an entirely different world that we live in. Like, I can't imagine protesting against that world right now. It's this utopia that's in the past that I wish I could go back and be a part of. And the sound of the Awakening Orchestra, even as like over the years it's incorporated so many other emotions beyond rage, how much love and empathy has come into the sound from where it was originally just like anger and frustration. That is the sound of the band, is a why can't things be better? That's a bigger question than protest. There's still the anger, there's still the rage, but there are many places where it's much more settled, where it's much more comfortable. When you said, like, what does it mean to be an American? Like, there's an introspective nature to what the music is now, even if it still has what that sound is. The Awakening Orchestra, it's on some level feels like a part of my identity. It's what connects me to a lot of the people who I've played with over the years. That the music has grown and changed as we've all grown and changed is what makes it real to me. Like, all of us had an impact on each other, on the way that all of us write, the way that we think, the way that we perform, the way that we play together. It's what's part of what makes it so meaningful to all of us. Writing for you seems like exercising a demon. Like, what moves you to do this? To take on this level of responsibility and things that, in some cases, push people not just to their technical limitations, but the physical limitations of the instrument. All of this can go to shit at any given moment, and it's just riding on what that line is.
The second I realized I had the cats to pull anything off that I could envision, it was symphonic. Like, I approach composition symphonically. I have been so fortunate to find the right people. And once you have the right people, anything is possible. It's definitely worth it. Getting to the end of a performance and feeling like we do, which is physical, emotional, mental exhaustion, and deep, deep accomplishment.
It's the answer to why all of us are musicians. It's because we have no other choice.
Anything else that you would want people to know about your role in the band?
To me, the classic sound of that band is me not hearing a note I'm playing while Mike's amp is aimed at my head, and still all I can hear is trombones. I'm really happy that more of our experiences now are allowing me to play piano with the band again. There's definitely a feeling of being the one person who's not playing an organic instrument on stage. So to be able to get on stage or to get into a studio and play a thing that has real strings and vibrates and like you can feel it through your fingers while you're playing it means something to me. I'm always writing ads. That's what occupies most of my time. I really want to make a jazz record. I'm thinking like multiple horns, a lot of through composed stuff. When are we going to make another record?
Oh, come on, man. It took me 6 years on this one. I really miss you, and
God willing, we'll all meet again in Spaceballs 2 to search for more money.